Now on 767 News, arrest of residents prompts more protest action in the community of Salsbury. UWP calls on government to bring an immediate end to what appears to be a politically motivated attack on Salsbury residents, and one man assisting police into mugging of 3 Australian visitors. In sports, Volleyball Association to host All-Star weekend. Welcome everyone, I'm Alicia George and you're tuned in to 767 News. Join me for the latest news stories and developments coming up after this break.
Let's see how easy it is to play Powerball and win. Simply select 4 numbers from 1 to 30 and a Power Pick number from 1 to 5, and that's it. You have just selected your winning numbers for Powerball, or just get a quick pick and let the machine select your lucky numbers for you. Remember, Powerball is drawn every Wednesday and Saturday from 9 p.m. Powerball from the Dominica National Lottery.
Thanks for joining me on today's edition of 767 News. In today's newscast, residents of Salsbury blocked the main road linking Portsmouth to Roseau after police allegedly moved in to arrest several residents on Thursday morning following investigations into a protest on May 11th. The protesters at the time were requesting a meeting with the Honourable Minister for Agriculture, Johnson Drygo, to discuss a solution to repair the roads in their community and access roads to their farms. However, altercation arose between protesters and police authorities, which resulted in the use of tear gas and rubber bullets and the pelting of rocks by residents. That protest was later deemed illegal by the government, who warned that appropriate action against those who either participated in or organized the protest would be taken. The alleged arrest did not go down well with residents who began further protest action on Thursday. An island-wide blackout blocked a live radio report during the protest early Thursday. Honorable Leader of the Opposition United Workers' Party, Lennox Linton, has called on the Dominica Labour Party government to bring an immediate end to what he describes as a politically motivated attack on the people of Salsbury. On Thursday, residents of Salsbury blocked the main road linking Portsmouth to Roseau after police allegedly moved in to arrest 5 residents.
We believe that the decision to arrest 5 residents of Salsbury in connection with the citizens' protest over deplorable farm access roads 1 month ago was completely ill-advised and must be overturned in the public interest of peace and civility.
The opposition leader also called on the community, the church and the police to take responsibility by adding their voices to what he described as unnecessary circumstances.
We call on the leadership of church and civil society to add their voices against this flagrant violation of the constitutional rights of the people to dissent in a democracy. At the same time, we urge the Commissioner of Police and all police officers to abide by the integrity of their law enforcement responsibilities and avoid accepting instructions from the political directorate calculated to divert public attention from the burning issues of government mismanagement and corruption. What is happening as we speak in Salsbury is totally unnecessary. We have had enough time to put this matter behind us and to move on. Instead of pursuing real criminals in the country, the police have decided to go after the residents of Salsbury, who, in retaliation, have decided to take them on. It is not a good situation for Dominica. That environment of confrontation and aggression is not good for Salsbury, it's not good for Dominica, and we're calling on the government to allow calm, reasonable, measured heads to prevail and to avoid any further deterioration in that already worsening situation.
The opposition leader would like to see the release of the 5 Salsbury residents who were arrested on Thursday. He called for an inquiry into the circumstances of the arrests of the citizens.
It is a demand of the residents of Salsbury which we find in the circumstances to be very reasonable. But we also believe that an inquiry into the circumstances leading up to this morning's crackdown on the residents of Salsbury needs to be conducted. We need to have an inquiry into that matter.
A town hall meeting, which got on the way from 8:30 earlier this evening in Lago Rosso, was organized by the opposition United Workers' Party to expound on the party's solidarity with the people of Salsbury. And tragedy struck the village of Warner on Tuesday when a young man was found dead at his grandmother's residence. The individual has been identified as 27-year-old Jermaine Shane Boston, an Antigua national with Dominican parentage who was here on vacation. Police PRO ASP Claude Wicks said the police are currently investigating the circumstances which led to the death of the young man.
Police can confirm that we investigating the sudden death of Jermaine Shane Boston. He is an Antiguan, or was an Antiguan, 27 years of age. He arrived in Dominica on the 7th of June, that's Sunday the 7th of June. And he went to his family home. In fact, his mother is Dominican, and he was up there holidaying, being with them.
Boston's grandmother reputed to the media that her grandson went to bed in what seemed to be good health, however was found dead the next morning after she noticed he was still laying in the bed in the same position for quite some time and was unresponsive when she tried to wake him.
On Monday night, somewhere about 9 p.m. rather, he went to bed. His grandmother observed that he was unresponsive somewhere about 8-9 o'clock the following day, which would have been Tuesday the 9th. She investigated, and there was no response at all coming from him. She sought help from family members and the district nurse, and he was then moved to the Princess Margaret Hospital, where upon arrival, having been examined, he was pronounced dead by the medical doctor.
Wicks said that though foul play is not suspected, it is the sole responsibility of the Dominica Police Force to launch an investigation into the matter.
Preliminary investigations have begun into this sudden death, and it does not appear that there is any suspected foul play. But we can't take anything for granted. The point is he arrived on the Sunday, went to bed on Monday night, and that sudden death has taken place. It's a responsibility for the police to investigate in this matters.
The body of the deceased young man was retrieved from the home in Warner later that day. A post-mortem examination was expected to have been performed on Thursday, followed by a coroner's inquest. And as part of training efforts, several young men under the Youth Skills Program have been hired on the construction of Phase 2 of the Silver Lake Housing Project. Contractor on the project, Felix Thomas, told 767 News that these trainees are being assisted by skilled workers on the job.
That we have a number of young carpenters, masons, a lot of young men through the Youth Skills Program that we are trying to train as well in the areas of steel bending, carpentry, masonry, block laying, and the general construction works.
Presently, a staff of 18 is employed on the construction job, but according to Thomas, that number is expected to grow during the latter stages. Meanwhile, senior workers will continue to train the young trainees not only on the basics of construction, but in specialized areas.
Some of them have been working with me in other areas as well. Just that we have taken a more serious turn where we want to get them specialized, in certain fields and see where they do better. Though we'll be giving them the general thing in terms of construction, but we want some of them to really specialize, because with construction, carpentry has its own dynamics. Masonry has its own dynamics, Whereas you would hear people of the past say, well, he's a jack of all. But what follows that saying? Master of none. We want them to master the skill.
The second phase of the Silver Lake housing project is expected to be completed by year end and will include 6 two-bedroom apartments. It is hoped that by the end of construction, the young men will be able to handle construction work on their own.
One thing about our Dominican youth, you put them up to the challenge and they will go at it. You know, they will go at it. And I have always tell people that Dominicans, and I refer to those persons who work in the construction field, are very, very hard-working people. The fact is, you've got to pay them right, you have got to treat them right, you have got to ensure that they receive a certain level of benefit from the work that they do. So once you can afford to do that, you know, I think you will get good results and the work output that you need. I have never had a case where, I have low productivity on any job.
Thomas said this time around they have started with a much smaller crew than that of phase 1 of the project so that the young men are better trained and receive maximum attention. He went on to commend the Dominica Labour Party government for addressing the housing situation in Dominica through its Housing Revolution project, where 1,500 homes are expected to be constructed for underprivileged families.
And I believe this administration, with its entire Housing Revolution program, needs to be complemented. And it's not an easy task. As I've always said, whereas it is easy to feed, let us say, 1 million people, it is much more difficult to house even 500,000.
Government launched the Silver Lake housing project in October of 2013 at the cost of $1 million. And in more news, Police Public Relations Officer ASP Claude Wick says one man is assisting the police in their investigations into the mugging of 3 Australian visitors who were on island last week for the West Indies versus Australia Test Series. In an interview with 767 News on Thursday, June 11th, ASP Wick said the police is optimistic in making a breakthrough in the case while their investigation continues.
We have since arrested on suspicion one person who is assisting in our investigations. There are a couple other people who are subjects of interest, and we've not yet arrested these people. They seem to be eluding or perhaps hibernating, but there will be a time that the hibernation period will end.
ASP Wick said he is optimistic that given police intelligence, they will capture the perpetrators and take them into custody for questioning. The senior police officer said he spoke to one of the victims who said he was happy to have been in Dominica.
And he really intimated that Dominica really has a lot to offer for a small country. But on the other hand, he said that, it was really a bad experience. And the harsh reality is, it is that. We encouraged him that indeed that's not the reflection, that's not the brand name or trademark of Dominica, because Dominicans are generally hospitable and kind and willing to help. In fact, he made mention of his arrival at the DC, at Douglas Charles Airport at Melville Hall. And he said when he arrived with his luggage, everybody came, lifted the luggage and took it to the vehicle, free of charge, you know. And the warmth that was exuded, he felt he was in another world. So that speaks well, it speaks volumes for Dominica. But on the other hand, we have those who have the proclivity or the propensity to commit mischief, and indeed they will.
ASP Wick said the public should not cast blame on the police for the incident as they were on patrol on the streets of Roseau. However, they simply cannot be everywhere all the time.
Yes, we moved around, we patrolled around, and uniform as well, because we understand the presence of the uniformed police officers on the streets. Indeed, it's a deterrent to crime and can cause the would-be criminals or thugs or rogues to understand that we are on the ground. I would agree it has to be maintained, it has to be sustained. But I think fighting crimes, and especially against visitors, it's our business. We are all responsible for Dominica. We are all responsible for the safety and socio-economic development of Dominica.
He said we all need to jealously guard our beloved country, Dominica, from all forms of crime and criminality, as this cannot be left solely on the police force. Up next, General Secretary calls for the resignation of Public Works Board of Directors. More details when 767 News returns.
Play Daily 3 and get a chance to win daily cash from $20 to $100. For every $9 or more spent on Daily 3, you get a chance to win daily cash instantly. Up to $100 cash daily for 6 weeks. The more you spend, the more tickets you get, the better your chances of winning every day. Plus, there's a chance to win a refrigerator if you receive an entry form. Take a chance to win instant cash all day, all week for 6 weeks with Daily 3 Daily Cash promotion. Only from the Dominica National Lottery.
Fresher foods, bold flavors, more time. Get it all with appliances from Quartz. Purchase any appliance $999 and over. You can be a weekly winner of $200 cash. Plus, purchase any Mabe appliance and win $11,000 in prizes of your choice. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and pay absolutely nothing for 60 days. So find the solutions for your kitchen and laundry only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Welcome back. Dominican educators have been given an opportunity to further their knowledge with the professional certification program now available at the University of the West Indies Open Campus. The training program is being done in collaboration with the Errol Barrow Center for Creative Imagination at the University of the West Indies Cave Hill Campus and the University of Florence in Italy. The program offers educators a certification in heritage for culture and human resource training and development and is part of a joint international cooperation project between Italy and the Caribbean called Cari Talents. Professor Gladstone Yearwood, director at the Errol Barrow Center for Creative Imagination at the UWI Cave Hill campus, said the training will be held during a 12-month period and will be facilitated by lecturers from Italy, Barbados, and Dominica.
As a project of Italian Corporation, which is the National International Development Agency, Cari Talents is offered free of charge to participants. The certificate program will take place in 2 locations, namely Dominica and Barbados. And the course involves, let's say, around 14 visiting lecturers from Italy, 8 professors from the University of the West Indies, and 6 experts from Barbados and Dominica.
Yearwood said the main purpose of the training program is to provide training to trainers in education in order for them to be fully equipped to provide proper training in the youth development sector.
This is really an exciting project which is on the cutting edge of developments in training for culture and heritage. It aims to transmit new knowledge to trainers who in turn will work with youth to build skills, to build their skills.
Professor Afali Palosha, Director of Department of Architecture at the University of Florence, said this project seeks to give educators the ability to train individuals to aid their development.
The last beneficiaries of this project should be young people at risk in both the island. And we want to get this improvement for the living condition and working condition of people who is mainly outside school. The idea is to go through a program that is aimed to the educators, to people who is already into the education, into the training into the school and outside the school.
Chief Cultural Officer in the Cultural Division of the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports, Jacinta David, said this opportunity will bring light to the pressing issue of heritage.
This course is very timely, as the issue of heritage is a pressing issue and is very high on our agenda. Here at the Division of Culture, we have taken a number of initiatives regarding the training and sustainable development of Dominica's heritage.
This professional certification training program is being financed by the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Moving along, General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union, Thomas Leta, says the union will continue to stand in solidarity with the employees of the Public Works Corporation who are protesting and will not back down.
If they want to send everybody home, since that was their intention, let them do that. But we are not going to back out. And we have a we have strong objection to you paying some people who are on strike, who are protesting, paying some people who are protesting and not paying others. That is discrimination and that is victimization. My whole position is that the board is spineless, they are ineffective, and the board should resign. And we have heard it repeatedly being said by our Honorable Prime Minister that he is interested in the plight of the poor man. Now is the chance when the Prime Minister have to prove that and to demonstrate his interest and his love for the poor ordinary man.
Later said the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit needs to do the right thing and advised the Board of Directors of the Public Works Corporation to resign. He said this is also important as the directors have been denying the Public Works employees what is due to them, while they, the directors, have been collecting their salaries.
If they have any pride, they have any sense of goodness in them, I am saying that they cannot do the job and the board should go. I understand that one person resigned as from Friday, and we are looking for others. But they have failed to do what they are supposed to do. Because, my friend, in industrial relationship, we have said it over and over again, the confrontational approach is not one that people are going for.
Later said the union is trying to resolve the issues faced by employees in an amicable and peaceful way. The DPSU General Secretary said the Honorable Minister of Public Works, Ian Pinard, who has been insensitive to the plight of the employees, will not get his request for the employees to simply go back to work.
We will continue the struggle, and from time to time we are going to meet and to decide to review it and to decide how we move from there.
He added the heavy police presence at the Public Works Corporation will not deter the employees who are fed up of the injustice they have been subjected to for far too long. And numerous cricket fans, former players and other invited guests gathered at the Fortune Hotel on Wednesday evening, where son of the soil Dr. Irvin Andre launched his new book titled A Century of Dominica Cricket. Sports commentator Ozzie Lewis said this book and its contents can be described as unique.
I've not heard of another island producing anything comparable, be it Barbados, Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana, the Leewards, or any other of the Windwards, or indeed any other country. I've never heard of a century, a historical account of cricket in the country for 100 years.
Philip Allen, who is a renowned retired cricket umpire, said the publication of this book is undoubtedly a happy occasion for cricket in Dominica.
Dr. Andre may not realize it, but the writing of this book tantamounts to scoring a century, a double century, or triple century for Dominica. Having served the game for so many years myself, I am happy that somebody has come to write the history on Dominica's cricket. It's a thing I've been saying. If I was highly educated, I would have done it.
Allen said all citizens of Dominica should ensure they acquire a copy of this book and read it, as it is filled with valuable information on the history of cricket in Dominica. Meanwhile, Dr. Andre said the book details the lives and experiences of Dominicans involved in the sport of cricket, dating back from the first decade of the 20th century.
Now, the game of cricket took root in England during the Middle Ages. The word cricket is often linked to the Normans and the French language that they inflicted on England for some 300 years. It is derived from the word cricket, which originated from another word crick or stick. The game flourished in the ensuing centuries until by the 18th century, it had acquired all the accoutrements of the genteel and privileged in England.
He said the sport took root in Dominica in the late 19th century with the establishment of the Botanical Gardens in 1890 and the founding of the grammar school in 1893. Dr. Andre said the book is a true reflection of the history of Dominica's cricket since its inception. And that's it for local news. The latest in sports is coming up next with Larry LaRocque, so stay tuned.
Play Daily 3 and get a chance to win daily cash from $20 to $100. For every $9 or more spent on Daily 3, you get a chance to win daily cash instantly. Up to $100 cash daily for 6 weeks. The more you spend, the more tickets you get, the better your chances of winning every day. Plus, there's a chance to win a refrigerator if you receive an entry form. Take a chance to win instant cash all day, all week for 6 weeks with Daily 3 Daily Cash promotion. Only from the Dominica National Lottery.
The Dominica Football Association presents the second leg of the FIFA World Cup. Russia 2018 qualifiers. Canada versus Dominica. Live at the Windsor Park Stadium. Thursday, June 11 from 7 p.m. Come shout at the top of your voices for Randolph Skelly Peltier, Michelle Baggio Joseph, Julian Juju Wade. The price is only $15 for adults and children under 12 pay only $5. You can't afford to miss this great football action. Canada versus Dominica. Canada versus Dominica. Thursday, June 11th, live at the Windsor Park Stadium. It's a goal! Dominica won! 767.
Good evening and welcome to 767 Sports. In tonight's coverage, we begin with volleyball. The Dominica Amateur Volleyball Association, DAVA, presents the 2015 All-Star Weekend celebrations scheduled to take place on Saturday, June 13 from 3 p.m. at the Lime Sports Complex in Canefield. The public is being urged to come and enjoy the all-new skill challenges for players and fans, as prizes and surprises are to be won. The 2015 All-Star Weekend will feature the Executives 12 versus last year's champions, the Acers and the Wolfpack. In more volleyball, the Dominica Amateur Volleyball Association is pleased to announce that a number of individuals have been selected to try out for the Under-21 national volleyball team. Those selected will represent the island at the Eastern Caribbean Volleyball Association ECVA Junior Tournament to be held in St. Martin from July 23rd to 26th. A training session is planned for Saturday, June 13th at 9 a.m. at the Lime Sports Complex in Canefield. All are asked to be present and on time. And that's it for tonight's sportscast. Tune in again tomorrow for more sports.
That was Larry with the latest in sports. We now go to the Met Office for today's weather report.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am your presenter, Vernie Master Honoré. Today's satellite imagery showed the movement of a few low-level clouds across the central and northern portions of the Les Antilles today, resulting in partly cloudy skies across Dominica. It also showed an area of multi-layered clouds across the southern portion of the chain, associated with the passage of a tropical wave. Today, radar imagery indicated shower activity mainly across the southern portion of the chain. Tonight's weather is expected to be partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy and hazy with some scattered showers. These conditions are expected to continue into tomorrow, with winds expected to increase slightly to 45 kilometers per hour. Sea conditions tomorrow, moderate in open water, with waves expected to pick up to 8 feet. Some caution is advised. And looking ahead, some increase in wind speed is expected up to 50 kilometers per hour on Sunday. And while a tropical wave is expected to move across the area on Saturday, conditions are expected to remain occasionally cloudy and hazy with a few scattered showers. And across the region tomorrow, occasional cloudy skies with some showers are expected. And on the international scene, partly cloudy skies are expected in New York and Beijing, mostly cloudy skies in Miami and London, and the chance of thunderstorm activity in Caracas. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:34 a.m. and will set at 6:36 p.m. For further information, visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for joining us this evening. Have a good night.
That was the Met Office with today's weather report. Now for a recap of tonight's headline stories. Arrests of residents prompt more protest action in the community of Salsbury. UWP calls on government to bring an immediate end to what appears to be a politically motivated attack on Salsbury residents, and one man assisting police into the mugging of 3 Australian visitors. In sports, Volleyball Association to host All-Star Weekend. And that's all the time we have for now. Until tomorrow, drop us an email at media@767news.dm. Friend us on Facebook and be sure to like our 767 News page. From all of us on the 767 News production team, I am Alicia George, wishing you a wonderful evening and thanks for watching.